Yeah. No, make it easy. Knowing the language. I have a friend though he's Greek, and he was saying that like it's so easy for him like working in like medical field or like engineering because all of like the words that are used in those situations are like translated to him basically because they're all derived from like Greek words. So like a lot of the terminology. It's like a lot of the terminology that we have to learn for school and stuff, like he just already knows it.
That's true. Some of them medical words. Some of them are from Latin.
Yeah. Yeah. I took Latin when I was younger, you know, because like, I don't know if they say this there or Latin, but like, when you go into the medical field or anything related to science, like you should study Latin because it'll help you. And I was like, no, that's not gonna like really, it can't possibly help that much. But then there's sometimes like you're doing anatomy dissection and you come across some certain body part and you're like, oh, well that means like the tip of the finger. That makes sense, you know? Like, wow. I didn't want my parents to be right. Where? Yeah. Ooh, Arizona. Big deal. Yeah. Just twice. But like, it's weird because my parents have been there like when I was young, so it was very close to our home. Like they're all, so many of their friends were from Ghana, like they knew from Ghana. So as I was growing up, like our Ghanaian friends would come by, or we'd like go visit our friends that had like been there with them. And so it was like I knew what fufu was because I was like this big. Yeah, we went back to visit my godfather in America. He worked for USAID. So he had like a place in Cantonese. Yeah, it's a nice area. Yeah, you know, like you drive by these houses that have like 20 yards out front of them. And you're like, oh, you must be like a minister or something. And then like the international school is right there too. But then I went back a few years ago. Remember the Right to Dream Academy? Do you know it? Really? Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of those. Yeah.
They've produced a lot of very good.
Yeah, well, it used to be well known. Like, the first time I was there, the founder's mom had really bad malaria. And then just like basically running like school is now that made it matter of policy in Denmark or something. And they have so many players like Manchester. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of them. And it's not worried. Like they have players out there. Yeah. No, I really want to go to Chicago. So I really want to go see a fire.
I was tired those days.
Yeah, and like I knew there's some of those kids who lived there and volunteered years ago. Now they've like grown up a little more. So like one of them was this kid like Anderson. He was tiny, like such a runt, you know. And I just saw that like he was posting from emails and like, oh, you got signed by your mom. Congratulations, you're in a school next to me. Like a little. I could be ceiling. Yeah, and like professional fathers like that, you know, like they started taking notes and they were thinking about like so now those kids are doing graduated or signed, like the littlest kids are now like yeah. Well, they've won like the U15, like the world championships, U15, like every year for the past 5 years. It's so great to like see like but it was tied this year. I know. I really it's not entirely true because it's been kicked out of us every year. Like 2010. Prince Valente. I'm so bored because I really like the game. Like I said, work the games. Like probably my like worst team.
They say they're from Italy.
And like I was going to that game, and all my friends are like Lauren, who like have to support America. Like this is American national team. Yeah, it's my country. That's like where you're from. They finally have a chance to like do well. And I have to support them. And I was like, okay, you're right. Like I believe you. Like right. And I've been wearing like Ghana jersey and like and so then like it was like the 9th minute and Boateng got that cross and then like dribbled it for the score. And I suddenly realized like the room was quiet, but I was the only one standing up and cheering. Oops. My boyfriend was he's like, you said you took it because he's like super American. Like works in soccer. That's why
Ok, approviamoci le visioni.
Like, you don't have to fly, you have all the bags, you can have it right there. Yeah. Are there 2 schools? Right now, and there's going to be one more. There are a lot of West Coast. I don't tell you. Then you would sit near me.
I'll remember. I'll remember.
Say that like this isn't I don't know. I didn't expect that, right? I don't think they know that we have to sit.
I don't think that's sad.
today. My name is Vivian.
And I am Ame.
Yeah. So before the ceremony starts, there are a few things that we would like you to take note of. If you need anything at all, if you need to know where's the bathroom, toilet, let us know. We will guide you. And about water, every delegate who come in, you can get the water at the door up there. Yeah. And please be noted that the blue water bottles that you see along the corridor, they are actually not free. So each water bottle costs RM1 in Malaysia. But there are free ones available up there from us. As for the Wi-Fi password, you can log in to our ID user, IVSA, with the password IVSA 012345. It can only be accessible in the auditorium and also the foyer. The foyer will be where we'll have our meal. Okay? And our ceremony will start in 5 minutes. So our ceremony will start in a bit. We'll be joined by our Dean of Faculty and a few other VIPs. So yeah, hope you guys have a good breakfast. Oh, and also about the water, if you would like to refill, the water dispenser is along the corridor. On both sides, you can refill the water there. Thank you.
Hey guys, any problem with texting the Wi-Fi? Please inform.
Can I have a show of hands who is having problem accessing to the Wi-Fi? Okay. There are 2 Wi-Fi hotspots available. This is one of it. And the second one will be called Hotspot Putra, HOT-SPOT and PUTRA. For Hotspot Putra, the password is Feed Cafe 10. Think about food. It's spelled as FEEDCAFE10. Password is FEEDCAFE10. If you yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Announcing the arrival of the Dean of the Veterinary Medicine Faculty. Professor Dr. Muhammad B. Pedro, the Associate of Civil Affairs, Professor Dr. Sri Yamsha, the Dean of University National Hospital, Dr. Delwai of IVSA Malaysia, Professor Dr. Abdul Wahid Marul, Deputy Dean of Research and Postgraduate Studies, Associate Professor Dr. Sunita Kapala, Deputy Director of EduPA, Putra Science Park, Associate Professor Dr. Farida Kamal, lecturers of the University of Malaysia, organizing committees, and delegates on the 66th IVSA Congress 2017.
Dear delegates, please rise for the national anthem of Malaysia, Negaraku, as well as Putra Gemilang and Putra Akbar.
Oh
More songs coming, guys, more songs.
Selamat pagi and welcome to Malaysia. I am Ame and we will be your MCs for today.
To continue with our opening ceremony for today, we would like to invite the co-president of 66 IVSA Congress, Ms. Karina Abdul Halim, to deliver the speech.
Sorry guys, as you guys can see, I'm not used to formal things. Much better? Hello. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to Professor Dr. Muhammad Hair Bedro, Dean of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, UPM, Professor Dr. Siti Suri Arshad, Deputy Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Dr. Abdul Wahid Harun, Deputy Dean of University Veterinary Hospital and also our advisor for IVSA Malaysia Selangor, Associate Professor Dr. Zunita Zakaria, Deputy Dean of Research and Postgraduate Studies, Dr. Farida Kamaruzaman, Deputy Director of EduPark, lecturers of University Putra Malaysia, my amazing organizing committees, and our ever so energetic delegates of the 66 IVSA Congress 2017. Now, I won't be the first to say this to all of you, but I'll be glad just to do it anyway. Welcome to my country. Welcome to my home. Welcome to Malaysia. As you all may know, IVSA Malaysia was nominated and elected by the General Assembly of the 65th IVSA Symposium in Taiwan last year. The moment we won the election, we were absolutely elated. We finally get the chance to show our big IVSA family how us, as vet students here in Malaysia, go through our everyday life, share our knowledge, share our culture, and show as many aspects of our country as we can from a different perspective, from our perspective. We organized an election and a nomination for an organizing committee right away, immediately when the semester started. Therefore, I and we, the organizing committee, would like to show you and introduce to you each and every one of our organizing committees, starting with me as co-president. I'm from UPM, University Putra Malaysia. Ms. Dylan Choi, my partner in crime, the co-president, and also a final year student of University Malaysia Kelantan. Ms. Vivian Chong, Vice President of Women from UPM. Ms. Delna Mazda, also our co-Vice President from UPM. Our President of IVSA Global, who is also our Vice President of the event, Mr. Malcolm Chong from UPM. Ms. Celestine Ho, our very beautiful secretary from UPM. Ms. Vanessa Tan, our secretary from University Malaysia Kelantan. Ms. Chong Hui Min, our treasurer from UPM. Ms. Aida Imanina, our treasurer from University Malaysia Kelantan. Mr. Byron Chong, our head of sponsorship from UPM. Ms. Anusia Nadarajan, our head of applications from UPM. Ms. Jenny Lim, our head of programmer and souvenir team from UPM. Mr. Shalda, part of programmer and souvenir team, also from UPM. Ms. Priyanka Vasu, programmer and souvenir team from UPM. Ms. Liu Wen Ki, our programmer and souvenir team from University Malaysia Kelantan. Ms. Clarity Mark Joseph, programmer and souvenir team from University Malaysia Kelantan. Ms. Lee Lian Yu, our head of IT and public relations of University Putra. Ms. Joanne Tan, IT and public relations from University Putra Malaysia. Mr. Amir, IT and Public Relations from University Malaysia Kelantan. Mr. Chong Jia Jie, Accommodation from University Putra Malaysia. Ms. Brenda Sabrina, Accommodation Team from University Malaysia Kelantan. Mr. Navanita Ruben, Head of Logistics from University Putra Malaysia. Mr. New Hong Chuan, Logistics from University Malaysia Kelantan. Mr. Tan Ang Shun, Logistics from University Malaysia Kelantan. Ms. Jun Chong, Head of Food and Beverages of University Putra Malaysia. Ms. Yoko Watanabe, Food and Beverages of University Putra Malaysia. Ms. Jasmine Chia, Food and Beverages from University Malaysia Kelantan. Ms. Fadil Fahima, Food and Beverages, University Malaysia Kelantan. Mr. Joel Tan, from the same team of University Malaysia Kelantan. And Ms. Ruth Chong of Visa and Immigration from University Putra Malaysia. And our ever so beautiful Ms. Chu Ying Yi, volunteer photographer for our event from University Putra Malaysia. And our official volunteer, Mr. Joshua Jong from University Putra Malaysia. And this is our unofficial volunteer because she's not here, but she's been replying to all your emails and messages on Facebook. So Ms. Kesha Shakina. finally, the President of IVSA Global, Mr. Malcolm Chong. Therefore, as you can see, half of the team is actually from University of Malaysia, Kelantan, and half of the team is from University Putra Malaysia. Do not be worried, as there will be both sides of the university will be shown during this event, and we are proud to show our team that has been working hard for this event for the past year. Thank you very much.
Next, we would like to invite President of IVSA Global, Mr. Malcolm, to give his speech.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, professors, lecturers, friends, family. First of all, I would like to echo Kairina's words in saying I have no clue what's happening for formal events. I'm really not comfortable with it. But I'm very, very happy, first of all, that all of you are here. This past year or so, in organizing this event, the organizing committee has put tremendous efforts. They have put basically no sleep as a priority, and they have put this Congress as a priority. I know as a fact that some people have even taken some time off school to work towards this Congress. It would be a shame if I did not mention today that this Congress today would not have happened without the amazing work and the amazing effort of the organizing committee. So as Kairina very rightfully did, she showed all the members of the organizing committee, and I just want to, at this point of time, if you wouldn't mind, could you please rise to your feet and please give a thunderous round of applause to the organizing committee for such a wonderful job. Organizing committee, thank you so much for the tremendous work that you have put into organizing this Congress. I know it's not been easy. I know it's been very stressful. I know it's been very difficult organizing things from two sides of Malaysia, from the middle and then from the north. But at the same time, you guys have done such an amazing job in working together. All of you from UPM, as well as those of us from UMK, we've all worked hand in hand without seeing each other as one greater than the other, but all of us has worked together to do such an amazing event, and thank you so much. University Putra Malaysia, thank you so much for being one of the hosts for us, and I just want to thank you so much for allowing us to be here today. Those of you from University Malaysia Kelantan, also thank you so much for coming all the way down here and working so hard on making this event a success. Professors, lecturers, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for supporting all of us throughout this event. I know from what I've heard that you guys have given amazing support to all of our members, and I just want to thank you so much for being here. And of course, EXCO members, and all the delegates from IVSA, welcome to my home. I hope within this 2 weeks you get to see a little bit of what our life is here, and you get to experience Malaysia the way we do, and live it the way we do. So once again, thank you so much everyone, and hope you have a wonderful Congress. Take care.
Now, I would like to welcome the Dean of the Veterinary Medicine Faculty, University Putra of Malaysia, Prof. Dr. Herr Bejo, to deliver his speech.
Thank you, our Master of Ceremony, Ms. Ivan and Mr. Abe. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable guests, yang berbahagia, our Deputy Dean, Professor Dr. Siti Arshad, Professor Abdul Wahid Harun, and also Professor Dr. Zunita Zakaria. Associate Professor Dr. Farida, Deputy Directors, EduPark, University Putra Malaysia, Head of Departments, Professors, Lecturers, and our IVSA Global President, Mr. Malcolm Chong, IVSA Malaysia President, Ms. Dila Mazda, Ms. Karina Al-Halim, and Ms. Dylan Chong, Organizing Committee, Advisors, we comprise of Professor Abdul Harun, Dr. Lau, and Dr. Nur Aniza from University Putra Malaysia, committee members, participants from 57 different countries. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning. First and foremost, I would like to welcome all of you to the 66th International Veteran Student Association or IVSA Congress Malaysia 2017 from 24th July to 4th August 2017 opening ceremony under the theme of One Health. Welcome to Malaysia. Selamat datang ke Malaysia. Welcome to University Putra Malaysia, a research university and top 1% world's best university among the 26,000 universities in the world. So UPM is 1% world top university in the world under QS World Ranking. We are now ranked at 229. Welcome to Faculty of Veterinary Medicine with QS University World Ranking top 100 by subject of veterinary science, and currently the only 5-star faculty, meaning that top faculty at the University Putra Malaysia under Malaysia Research Assessment 2 or MyRight 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the complexity of human-animal-environment relationship, partly as an impact of man-made change to the host, agent, environment, ecosystem, and nature, illustrated that our future will be characterized by a new interdependent and true progress on the prevention and control of disease can only be achieved through One Health. One Health, a trans or multidisciplinary collaboration approach to improving the health of humans, animals, and the environment, working locally, nationally, and globally. Transformation of One Health workforce through the coordination and collaboration across all levels of human and animal health sector are essential to meet the global health security agenda vision for a world safe and secure from global health threat posed by infectious diseases. It requires a shift in our workforce culture and regulatory framework from the first responder on the front line, such as veterinarian, to the policymaker implementing changes. I hope all of you will gain the benefit, some insight about One Health during this Congress, especially through those upcoming lectures and workshops being led by our esteemed professors and lecturers from University Putra Malaysia and University Malaysia Kelantan. The Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, University Putra Malaysia, is the first veterinary school in Malaysia with its first student intake in 1973. It is 5 years doctor of veterinary medicine program, and it is fully accredited by Malaysian Veterinary Council, and the curriculum in line with the Australian Veterinary Board Council, Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons, and OIE requirement. The faculty will receive a visit from international accreditation by Australian Veterinary Board Council in 12 to 15 December 2017, meaning the end of this year. In addition to the DVM program, the faculty also offer 4 postgraduate programs, namely the Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Veterinary Science, and Master of Science. This all by research. We comprise of 33 fields of study. We have also one MDM program, which is by clinical or laboratory practices, which cover 16 fields of study. Currently, the faculty have 552 DVM students from Malaysia and foreign students from 8 countries, namely Fiji, Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, USA, Mauritius, Japan, and Saudi Arabia. We also have about 200 postgraduate students from Malaysia and foreign countries. It is about 11 countries, namely Algeria, India, Iran, Iraq, Libya, Nigeria, Oman, Pakistan, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. We have 2 Centers of Excellence, Center of Excellence of Sweet Blood and Center of Excellence for Vaccine and Therapeutic, 2 research center for ruminant and wildlife, and 14 research programs. National Coordinating Office, or NCO, of Malaysia One Health University Network, or MyHUN, is at the faculty. MyHUN participated in transformation of One Health workforce in the country and dedicated in building the capacity of global health workforce to prevent, detect, and respond to emerging infectious diseases with the financial support from USA and in collaboration with University of Minnesota and Tufts University, USA. Currently, MyHUN has 17 universities from 21 faculties, 20 government ministers, and 2 government departments as members of the network. We also have our University Veterinary Hospital, the only veterinary teaching hospital in the country, receiving about 17,000 cases per year. Similarly, we have also the veterinary laboratory services, receiving about 8,400 cases a year. Through our Center of Tropical Animal Production and Disease Studies, or we call it as CENTRAS, we conducted professional workshops, seminars, and short courses for over 35 per year as part of continuing professional development point of Malaysian Veterinary Council. And our students, undergrad ternak, our beloved DVM students are actively involved, running their activities through such as Putra Biz at Vet, Clinic for Entrepreneurship, Dogathon, where they bring all the dogs doing the running in the morning, achieve total number of up to 1,100. Prokase, Zoologico, Silaturahim, Shiraton, Pet Sport, Pet Camp, and today witness what we call it the IVSA. This IVSA Congress is not only decide future of IVSA, but also provide a very unique opportunity to all of us to improve the standard of veterinary education internationally through the exchange of ideas, knowledge, and culture. Malaysia, truly Asia. Please enjoy your participation in the 66th International Veterinary Student Association Congress, Malaysia 2017, and have a memorable time visiting both culture and biodiversity rich of Malaysia. This IVA Congress will not be successful without the hard work of the organizing committee, advisors, members, sponsors, participants, and those who are directly or indirectly contributing toward the success of the Congress. Our sincere appreciation and thanks to all of you. Finally, it gives me a great honor to declare the 66th International Veterinary Student Association Congress Malaysia 2017 open. May we have a wonderful, fruitful, and successful Congress. Thank you dan terima kasih.
66 IVSA Congress 2017, Dylan and Karina, plus President of IVSA Global, Malcolm, to be on stage together to officiate the event. Okay, will you please your palm on the screen?
Initiating system 1.
This officially marks the start of the Thank you to Professor Dr. Silvejo for officiating our event. You guys may be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to invite you to watch a short clip that showcases Malaysia. If you need any help at all, please do not hesitate to approach all of the sources. With the end of this wonderful short video clip, it also marks that we have come to an end of our opening ceremony.
We would like to thank our honorable guests for their time, and we would like also to apologize for the mistakes made throughout the ceremony.
To our honorable guests, you may proceed to the foyer for a tea break. And to our dear delegates, please remain seated as our first General Assembly ever for this year's Congress will start soon. Thank you. Oh guys, for GA, please seat according to countries.
stream okay ah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright.
IVSA Croatia.
Nice to meet you. Ivy.
IVSA Japan.
Yes.
IVSA UK and Ireland. If you're here, please come forward right now. Thank you.
No, because you haven't. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You
Hey guys, I'm Vera. I'm your body assistant. Really nice meeting you. If you need any help with anything, like to understand how GA works, if you don't know what we're coding on, you can just approach me and ask me. What? Now we're going to start GA. Okay, GA, you have received like a lot of documents. Have you gone through that? Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to go through a lot of stuff that is on those documents. So it might be good for you if you can just read through them so you get familiarized with them. I'm going to come to visit you like from time to time in front, but I'm open to visit you from time to time to check if you're understanding what's going on and to let you know what we're voting for. Okay? Okay, so thank you.
I feel like I don't want to go back there again. Maybe the old
Have you been to Congress before?
Once again, really quickly, GA will start very, very soon. But if you are from these member organizations that I'm just about to mention, please come down right now, okay?
Yeah, so let's find out.
IVSA Algeria leader, IVSA Belgium Ghent, IVSA Japan, IVSA Poland, Austin, IVSA Slovakia, IVSA Slovenia, IVSA Sweden, IVSA Thailand, IVSA UK and Ireland. Tina Schmidt. IVSA Istanbul, can you come down for a second? Sorry, let's go quickly. IVSA Istanbul. Istanbul, Turkey, can you come down here for a second really quickly? Thank you. One OC member for the activities. Hello. Okay, hi everyone. So sorry for technical difficulties. If you don't mind, can you please take your seats? We're going to start off a little bit. Whatever we can do, at least get some stuff done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, very good morning, everyone. Hi. Hello. Okay, so before we begin, let me just talk a little bit really quickly about what's going on next. So it's a favorite session, favorite part of every congress and every symposium is the General Assemblies. Very nice. Thank you for laughing. The General Assembly is the most important event in IVSA. When I say event, I mean the General Assembly is the highest power governing body of IVSA, which means decisions that are made during the General Assembly, which is you guys, basically determines what happens in the functionality and the day-to-day events of IVSA. So, for example, if you guys decide if you guys decide that, hey, IVSA should not have a president, for example, then IVSA will not have a president and I will be out of a job. For example, because we have the different governing bodies of IVSA. The highest body, as I just mentioned, is the General Assembly. The General Assembly is you guys. So when we meet for General Assemblies, we make very important decisions. We make bylaw amendments, constitutional amendments, decisions. We elect members, and what that does is we elect the executive committee as well as the officials of IVSA. And the executive committee does what the name suggests, which is they execute or they do what the General Assembly asks them to do. My name is Malcolm. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Malcolm. I am the president of the executive committee for 2016 to 2017. My term ends at the end of August. So without further ado, let me really quickly introduce you to some of our officials and our EXCO members. So yes, on my left here is Denise Ventriculan. She's from IVSA, the Netherlands. She is our Secretary General. And so her job description is basically that she does a lot of work. Everything that you might see, everything that's arranged in order, everything that is, all the templates, blah, 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 all of that's done by her. She takes the minutes of what's going on. She prepares the EXCO as well as the General Assembly for what's going to come up during General Assemblies. So all those weird emails that you got, that's from her. Her fault. Next, I would like to introduce, let's see, where are my EXCO members? Oh, Vera Gonzalez. Vera is from IVSA Barcelona, Spain, and she is the External Relations Officer. The External Relations Officer's duty is to basically be the first line of contact between us and partners and sponsors. So she helps us work to get sponsorship from people and make sure they're happy, basically. Beside her is Andre Ungur. Andre is from IVSA Romania, Cluj-Napoca. What he does is he is the Development Aid Director, or as we like to call him, Dad. So what the Dad does is he helps with the development fund, helps arrange things. The development fund is our charity. So what we do is we give money to, actually, you know what, maybe I shouldn't go into too much detail because I'm going into that later. So that's the Development Aid Director. He deals with the development fund and the scholarship funds. So if you want scholarships, beside him is Lara Scherer. Lara is from IVSA Austria, and she is the committee coordinator. You will learn about all the committees that we have. They do amazing work. Some of you might have done things because of the committee. And so she's the one who coordinates all of that. She does a really, really amazing job. So if you want to know more about that, talk to her. That's not National Exco. Kristen Abraham. Kristen is also from IVSA Austria. She is the public relations officer, public relations coordinator. What she does is, so everything you see on Twitter, on Facebook, and Instagram, the website, she deals with the IT part of things, as well as being the first line of contact between the outside world and IVSA. And over there we have Andre Ventura. Andre is the member organization director, so what he does is he, together with his team, they communicate with the different member organizations and they tell you what you have to do, what you don't have to do, what you're supposed to do, send in reports, if you don't send in your reports, you get scolded, stuff like that. So that's what they do. And we're missing one person, Ivan Kotze. Ivan is from South Africa. He is the treasurer for IVSA. What he does is exactly what the name suggests. He treasures IVSA. He keeps the finances and he deals with the difficult problems of how do you deal with the money of IVSA. That's basically what he does. Without the bank account. So this is our IVSA Exco. Some of our other officials are here as well. I would like to introduce Clara. Secretary, and she's from IVSA France. The secretaries actually have an amazing job. What they do, well, it's not an amazing job. They have a lot of work as well. So they help out with the different Exco members doing their duties and getting stuff done. And where are the other secretaries? Ah, there we go. Luci. So yeah, Luci attends Exco meetings and annoys the heck out of us. That's what he does. No, he's a secretary as well, and he helps with the development fund, and he does great work. I see Nacho over there in the corner. Nacho also helps with the M1E team, and you'll see some of his work one of these days. Let's see, am I missing any secretaries? Oh, I see Nina Schmidt. Nina is also on the M1E team. I think you got a lot of contact from her and she told you basically you haven't done your reports. That's what she did. Leonie? Leonie is also from IVSA Germany. And she's also doing an amazing job as secretary. And there's, let me see, am I missing anyone? I feel like... Mariam! Where are you? There you are! Check out there. Mariam's from Tunisia, also on the MOD team, and yeah, they work well together. Am I missing any more secretaries that are here today? No, great. And also I'd like to introduce to you Anne-Catherine. She is a member of Trust. What they do is they help the Exco and the officials, the rest of the officials, to make sure work gets done, basically. Chairs, yes, chairs. Let's see who we have here today. We have Hillary. Hillary is the chair of the Animal Welfare Committee. Some of you might have seen things on Facebook about the Animal Welfare Committee, Animal Welfare Week, and so on. And yeah, that's what the Animal Welfare Committee does. You'll hear a lot about it later, so I won't go into detail. Javier. Javier is the chair of the Standing Committee on Wellness. They have a lot of crazy things planned for you this time around. There's a surprise over there at the back there as well, which I saw, so it's not really a surprise to me anymore. But it's still pretty cool. So you guys will see a lot about what they're going to do and how they improve wellness this time around. Am I missing any other officials? Was that a hand? No, that was just a quote. Awesome. And of course, you met the, you heard about the organizing committee. Of course, they put a lot of effort into this. So when you see them, go give them a hug, even if they don't like it. Actually, especially if they don't like it, go give them a hug. Okay? Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, the General Assembly is very important, and that's what we're here to do today. Imagine there's something on the screen. Yes. Sorry, this is a new location. It's a few technical issues. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, the General Assembly is where we come together and we make decisions. So there will be a, for example, we'll do like voting. There will be a voting process, as you all probably have heard about. I will explain about it in a few minutes. Okay, we're just going to try and go ahead because the screen's not really working. The OC is going to come and fix it. Yeah, the projector might not be on right now. But anyways, I'm just going to go start talking a little bit about stuff. Sorry if it's a little bit dry. It just so happens that this is quite important because this is how you're going to how GA works, but I'm going to try and explain it the best I can. I've been trying to stall for time, but I think we should just go ahead. So, alright, so when we vote in the General Assembly, all of you will be voting by country. So each country will have 2 votes. So you're all sitting here today, we ask you to specifically to sit in your country, because you will have 2 votes per country. We will be giving out voting cards later on. So make sure you hold on to your voting cards and you don't lose them, because we don't have enough to give you extras. So make sure there's someone from your country who will be in charge of holding the voting cards and keeping them safely. I see people looking at each other, very good. It's always a good way to make friends. So what we're going to do is later on we'll be giving out voting cards. You will take the voting cards, one person will hold on to the voting cards, and make sure you bring it for every General Assembly, okay? If you don't have your voting cards, you will not be able to vote. Oh, I thought that was the projector. How sad. I was excited. Okay, so. Nice. Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to talk about voting as a country. So like I mentioned earlier, every country has 2 votes. Even supranational entities, which are bigger countries, such as UK and Ireland, you vote as UK and Ireland. So you have 2 votes. SABMA, for example, you vote as SABMA, so you have 2 votes. And so on. Every other country, even though you have multiple chapters in your country, for example, you have IVSA Malaysia Kelantan and IVSA Malaysia Selangor, you will be voting as IVSA Malaysia. Clear so far? Yeah. Awesome. Now, all MOs from a single country must come to an agreement before you vote. So because you're voting as a country, try and make it such that every member organization from your country has an equal say. So for example, say, which country should I use? IVSA France. Let's say there is IVSA Alfor, IVSA Lyon, IVSA Toulouse. What you do is you come together as a team and you come to a consensus on what you're going to vote and how you're going to vote. Try and make it such that every member organization present is allowed to have their opinion and be able to make a vote. How this works, I wish I could show you. Okay. Denise will help me. It's my lovely Secretary General. So, for every country's vote, for your 2 votes, you can vote for, which means to support, or you can vote against, red color, which means you are against the topic. Or you can choose to abstain. And abstain means you just lost your cards. And abstain means you do not vote. What that means is if you do not raise a green card or a red card, then you raise nothing at all, which means you abstain, you do not vote because you are maybe halfway between for and against, which means you either feel like you do not understand enough of what's going on, or you feel like you have no feelings, not that you have no feelings, you have no feelings for or against. You don't feel like you agree with it, and you don't feel like you disagree with it. Okay? So there are several ways of voting. Since there are two voting cards, what you usually do is, I wish I could show you, but that's fine. You can either vote, Okay, so you can either vote 2 fours, which means for both your votes, you vote for the topic, okay? You can vote 2 against, which means for the topic, you disagree both times, okay? You can vote 1 for and 1 against, which means you half of you agree and half of you disagree, or one member. If your country has 2 member organizations, 1 member organization agrees and 1 member organization disagrees. You can do 1 green and 1 red. You can also have other variations such as 1 for and 1 abstain, or you can have 1 against, 1 abstain, or you can just have 2 abstains, and that's perfectly fine. Are we clear so far? Yes. Simple? Ish. It makes more sense once we get this done. What we have next is when, okay, if we are voting in an election and we are voting specific. Yeah, that's true. So there will be. I'm going to explain it anyways, just in case. So when we vote, we do not vote against a person. Okay? What that means is if there is an election and it comes to a card raising vote, you do not vote against. You either vote for or you abstain. Okay? If you're voting for someone, I see nodding heads. I feel bad. Alright, okay. Okay, let's say, for example, I'm going to give you a quick example. Let's say your country has the country which is, I'm going to make a random country up, Harry Potter Asia. So let's say Harry Potter Asia, a country, IVSA Harry Potter Asia has 2 member organizations, 2 countries. Has two member organizations, which is IVSA A and IVSA B within Harry Potter Asia. There's 1 person from Harry Potter Asia A and 5 people from Harry Potter Asia B. When you come to a General Assembly and you are about to make a decision, we would like it if you have an equal say, which means Harry Potter Asia A gets to vote how his or her member organization feels, and the rest of you from Harry Potter Asia B gets to vote with the second card. So try your best to vote according to what you feel like, and make sure everyone in your country has a voice. Does that make sense so far? Okay, good. So we have to so for every General Assembly session, you will need to choose 1 delegate to state the votes of your country. So you might want to do that now if you want, but from every country you have to select 1 person and only 1 person to hold the voting cards. Make sure it's someone you trust, because this person will be voting for you. If this person is going to lie to you, maybe not a good idea. So, for example, if IVSA Germany decides that Leonie will be holding, because I know she's secretary, Leonie will be holding the voting cards. Whatever decision you make, she is the one who will hold up the green or the red. So make sure you trust this person, okay? The person who will be voting for your country will also be the person who would come down when we call your country's name to pick up the voting cards. Okay? So if you choose someone from your country, make sure this person knows it, because they'll come down to get the voting cards. again, whenever you choose, only one person from your country votes on behalf of the rest of you. Now, if the chair, whoever is chairing the GA, decides that the result seems very obvious because of the discussion, and the discussion goes on and it seems like everybody seems to agree on something, the chair will ask for any objections. What that means is it's pretty obvious, and if there is someone who objects, if no one says anything, that means everyone agrees, and the motion will pass. If the chair feels like, and if someone doesn't agree with the motion at hand, you can say I object. You have to vocally say I object. For example, in the case of the General Assembly, if I am to say that Malcolm Chong from IVSA Exco has the best bow tie in the room. Any objections? Darn it, why must you object? So when an objection happens, what happens is then we would go one second. If an objection happens, then we would go to something called a card raising vote, which is using the green cards and the red cards. Okay? If, for example, I make any objections and darn it. If, for example, I say any objections and no one objects, which I'm going to do right now, and no one is going to object, that the motion on the floor, for example, is that General Assemblies are super interesting. No one will object to this. And I will ask, and no one will object, I will ask, any objections? Hearing no objections, the motion will pass. Since, hey, for example, this is just an example, we haven't actually started anything, so it's all good. And then if it doesn't, then we would go to a card raising vote like we mentioned earlier. So during a card raising vote, what we would say is the chair will ask for those in favor. If the chair asks for those in favor, if you agree with it, or you have one or two agrees or yeses, you will put up your green cards. And if the chair asks for those against or those opposed, you will take out your red card. So, and then if it's pretty obvious, then it's easy. But if it's too difficult to tell whether or not there are more green cards or red cards, we will go to a roll call vote, which is even more complicated. What happens then is that the Secretary General will do a roll call and we'll call your countries. And when your country is called, you will vocally say, so you'll say out loud the number of votes you have. So for example, if there is a motion on the floor and the Secretary General calls for, there's a motion on the floor and IVSA SAMA has two disagrees, for example. So Secretary General, when she calls IVSA SAMA, the person who does the votes will say 2 against or 2 opposed. Okay? So you can either say 2 opposed, 2 against, 2 in favor, 2 against, 2 abstain, whatever it is. So your combination, okay? So once again, really quickly, I'm going to recap. If the chair asks if there are any objections, if you do have an objection or you would like to continue, if you do have an objection, make sure you say that you have an objection, okay? If the chair calls for a card raising vote, then you will raise your green cards if you are in favor, and you will raise your red cards if you are against. If the chair calls for a roll call vote, then you have to state your votes once you are called. So far, are there any questions on voting? Does everyone understand what's going on? Anyone at all has any questions at all, please Could you please ask or raise your hand? No, right? Okay. So please make sure you know what you're doing because this will be the rest of your General Assembly sessions. Okay. Then I'll quickly go on to Robert's Rules of Order newly revised. So IVSA follows RONR, Robert's Rules of Order newly revised. It's a set of rules that we on how we conduct our meetings. It is orderly, it's efficient, it's quite widely used. I know there are a few parliaments that use it as well, things like that. So this is done so that we can uphold IVSA constitution and bylaws, as well as to make sure that it is not, ensure that there is a possibility for participation and not completely, and not one or two people have all the voice and they say whatever they want and nobody else is able to speak, okay? So, when this happens, during General Assemblies, we would ask that no, please do not be afraid to stand up, do not be afraid to say what you think, or if you understand or do not understand. The General Assembly is for all of you. Your votes really, really matter, no matter where you're from, what country you're from, or how insignificant you think you are, your opinion counts. So if you are unclear on the topic, please make sure that you ask, okay? So yes, if you have a question, please just ask. And if you are wrong, it's okay. If you're not following the correct order of things, the General Assembly will teach you how to do it, so please don't be embarrassed. Also, there is the buddy system going on. I'm not sure if you checked your... there will be a buddy system. And okay, so you have seen, so you know who... Is everyone aware of the buddy system? Is everyone aware of the General Assembly booklet? On your emails. So inside your General Assembly booklets, there is a page that says buddy system. So what that means is that you will be paired with an EXCO member and a secretary. All countries will be paired with an EXCO member and secretary, and if you have any problems, please come and find your EXCO member or your secretary and they will help you. The chair of the General Assembly will be speaking, and whatever the chair of the General Assembly says, please listen to him or her, because that's the only way we can keep order and make sure everyone gets equal say and a fair say, okay? Okay, let me talk quickly about motions. Sorry, I know it's dry. Let's just try and get this done. I'm going to talk about motions. If it's there. Perfect. So motions. Can you even see? Awesome. All right, let's talk about motions. Now, so a motion can only be made or vote. When a motion is made, you can voting delegates. So those of you who are from you guys, you can either vote or you can make a motion. And how you do that is, when you want to make a motion, you put your hand up and you wait for the chair to acknowledge you. And then you stand up, very important, state your name and your voting entity. So for example, can I get an example from Javier? Oh yeah, yes, Kristen.
Kristen Abraham, IVSA Expo. I move that Chong has the best vote leader. Second!
Thank you. So what just happened in a second ago, for those of you who are like, what the heck is happening, is she made a motion. Okay, so what happens is she made a motion, which is that Malcolm Chong has the best bow tie in the room. Actually, it's probably the only one, which is why it's the best. So what she did was she put her hand up and she stood up. She said Kirsten Abraham, which is her name, and she said a voting entity, which is IVSA Exco. For the rest of you, it will be IVSA Germany, IVSA Malaysia, IVSA Indonesia, IVSA Ghana, whatever it is, and then you would say your motion, which is I move that, and then word it very well. I move to, or I move that, whatever it is, and then it must be seconded. Okay, and the motion must be seconded by someone else, so you just say second, doesn't matter who it is, okay? And then it will be open for discussion. Nobody can nobody can speak twice on the same issue until the chair will tell you what to do, basically. All your remarks cannot be personal attacks. They must be on the issue. We want to focus on the issues. We want to tackle the issues, okay? Do not attack anyone else, but focus on the issues. Do not speak to other people when in the General Assembly, but speak directly to the chair. There are other things which you can do, which are point of privilege. For example, if you feel, during any time in the General Assembly, if you feel very uncomfortable, you can put up your hand and say point of privilege. This is, for example, personal comfort. Like, the music is too loud, if there is music, or I cannot hear the speaker, or something like it's too cold, whatever. Then you put up your hand and say point of privilege, and then say your point. Okay? You can stop. You can interrupt any point to say this. A point of information is if you want to ask for specific facts regarding the motion. So you ask a question for more information about the motion, and not give any information. All right. So point of information allows you to speak, but you're only asking for more information. And a point of order is if the rules are not being followed. For example, if the Robert's Rules of Orders are not being followed, or bylaws are not being followed, you put up your hand and say point of order, and then you tell us why. There are also several other cards here. The orange, the blue, and the yellow cards. You take the yellow cards up, which will be given to you afterwards. You take the yellow card and just put it up at any time if you want the person speaking to slow down because he's speaking too fast. Okay? Yellow card, slow down. Blue card, if you want the chair to summarize the point. Sometimes the conversation goes around and it becomes very, very long. You want the chair to repeat, summarize everything that's been going on. Blue card. Orange card is if you want the person to speak louder. So if someone is talking really softly and you cannot hear, orange card. If you're not sure if the rules are being followed, you can ask for a parliamentary inquiry. And what happens is the parliamentarian will then say, will then tell you what the rules say about something, if the rules are being followed. Okay, parliamentary inquiry. It's what clarifications. When the motion is on the floor, what you can do is you can ask, you can move to amend the motion, which is you want to change the motion so it sounds differently. You can choose to withdraw the motion, which is you feel like the motion is just ridiculous and you feel like I would like to take that motion off the table. Or you can say I move the previous question, which I hope you will use. What happens is when you move the previous question, if a conversation has gone on long enough and someone says to move the previous question, with a 2/3 majority of people agreeing to move the question, it would automatically go to a vote, no more discussions. If a discussion has gone round in circles for too long, someone moves the question, and it automatically, if everyone agrees, 2/3 agrees, we will go into a vote right away. Okay. So in summary, once again, 2 votes each country, 1 person each GA. 2 votes per country and 1 person for each GA. Each MO should have a fair say, and abstain means that you do not cast the vote, and there are different methods of voting, okay? We use Robert's Rules of Orders and those secondary motions as I mentioned earlier. Again, stand up, name, voting entity, and please don't be afraid to stand up and ask questions. If you're wrong, we can always deal with it, and we just want to hear everybody. So make sure that you come here representing your country, make sure your country is known, make sure your voice is heard, okay? Okay, and at this point of time, so let's test out what we've learned so far. And I'm actually going to start by this point of time, I would then like to enter general session. So I would like to call the General Assembly to order. Sorry, I would like to call the General Assembly to order at 11:35 a.m. Malaysian time. And now we will begin with a roll call. So, Secretary General, if you hear your name, your country, if you hear the name of your country, please say, please stay present and come down and get your voting cards and your General Assembly booklet, okay?
Okay, let's start. I think it works, right? Can everyone hear me? Yeah? Okay, it's going to be a long roll call, and I want to do this as efficient as possible. So please stay present loud and clearly and come downstairs as soon as possible. Then, the first, IVSA Algeria Batna.
Present.
IVSA Algeria Blida. IVSA Austria. IVSA Belgium Ghent.
Present.
IVSA China. Please a little bit louder because it's hard to hear here. Croatia. IVSA Czech Republic. IVSA Denmark. IVSA Estonia. IVSA Finland. IVSA France all four. IVSA France Lyon. IVSA France none. IVSA Germany.
Present.
IVSA Ghana Kumasi.
Present.
IVSA Greece Thessaloniki. IVSA Greece Thessaly. IVSA Hungary. IVSA Indonesia. IVSA Iran. IVSA Italy Milan. IVSA Italy Naples. IVSA Japan. IVSA Kosovo. IVSA Malaysia Kelantan. IVSA Malaysia Selangor. IVSA Morocco. IVSA Namibia. IVSA Nepal. Again, only one person per country, so not one person per MO, but one person per country.
So if you got something, like, choose out your country, please respond to that.
IVSA the Netherlands. IVSA Nigeria Abuja. IVSA Norway. IVSA Pakistan. IVSA Palestine. IVSA Philippines CBSUA. IVSA Philippines Los Baños. IVSA Poland Krakow. IVSA Poland Lublin. IVSA Poland Austin. IVSA Poland Poznan. IVSA Poland Warsaw. IVSA Poland Wrocław. IVSA Portugal. IVSA Romania Bucharest. IVSA Romania Cluj-Napoca.
Cluj-Napoca, IVSA Romania. IVSA Romania, Yazi. Please don't forget to say present if you're present. IVSA Russia, St. Petersburg. IVSA Sedma. IVSA Serbia, Belgrade. IVSA Slovakia. IVSA Slovenia. IVSA South Africa. IVSA South Korea. IVSA Spain, Barcelona. IVSA Sweden. IVSA Switzerland, Bern. IVSA Switzerland, Zurich. IVSA Taiwan. IVSA Thailand. IVSA Tunisia. IVSA Turkey, Ankara. IVSA Turkey, Bursa. IVSA Turkey, Firat. IVSA Turkey, Istanbul. Istanbul? Please say present, because I can't see it. And I can't see you as well. IVSA Turkey, Kirikale. IVSA Turkey, Konya. IVSA Samsun. IVSA UK and Ireland.
Present!
Thank you. Then IVSA Algeria, Algiers.
Present.
You don't have to come downstairs because you're candidate members. IVSA Queensland, Australia. IVSA Bangladesh. IVSA Bangladesh, BAU. IVSA Brazil, Belém. IVSA Brazil, Avila. IVSA Cameroon. IVSA Colombia. IVSA Egypt, National. IVSA Egypt, Mansoura. IVSA El Salvador. IVSA Italy, Bologna. IVSA Kazakhstan. IVSA Kyrgyzstan. IVSA Madagascar. IVSA Philippines, CLSUA. IVSA Philippines, Isabella. IVSA Philippines, PSAU. IVSA Spain, Zaragoza. IVSA Turkey, Afyon. IVSA Turkey, Kayseri. Please stay quiet, guys. A little bit left. IVSA Zambia. IVSA Zimbabwe. if I can have your attention. I'm glad to say that we've reached quorum with 68%.
Thank you, Denise. That's very good achievement, and now we can continue. So the next item on the agenda is the election of the election committee. So let me quickly explain what the election committee is. The election committee will consist of 3 people, whom at least one of them must be a former or current member of the EXCO. The election committee shall be elected by the General Assembly, and you cannot nominate or be nominated if you are part of the election committee. And the task of the election committee is to collect nominee forms, hang them up, print voting ballots, and basically to make sure that the elections run well, because after this there will be a lot of elections going on for different positions. Clear so far? Alright. So, are there any nominations at this point of time to the election committee? Yes, please.
Alexis Santana from IVSA Greece Catholic. I want to nominate Leonie Finger from IVSA Germany for the position of election committee.
Thank you. Leonie, do you accept? Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Yes, please.
I'd like to nominate Christine, IVSA Expo, as our next speaker.
Kirsten, do you accept? Are there any more nominations for election? Yes, please.
Audrey Chevalier from IVSA France. I'd like to nominate Lydia Stechek from IVSA Cologne for the election committee.
Lydia, do you accept?
I do.
Are there any more nominations at this time for election committee? Hearing no more nominations, elections have closed, and congratulations, Kristen Abraham, Leonie Figueroa, and Lydia Cesar for being members of the election committee. The next item on the agenda is the election of the chairman. Now, the chairman is currently what I'm doing at this moment. The chairman shall be elected at the beginning of the General Assembly, and the chairman shall be responsible for maintaining order in the General Assembly according to Robert's Rules of Order newly revised, and the chairman shall have no vote. The chairman should have a great understanding of bylaws, constitution, and the manuals, and also have a great understanding of IVSA structure, as well as an understanding of Robert's Rules of Order. At this moment in time, are there any nominations for chairman? Jonas? Yes. Anka, do you accept? Are there any further nominations for position of chairman? Hearing no further nominations, congratulations, Anka, you are now the chairperson.
Okay, hi everyone. So if you don't know me, I'm Anka. Yes, I'm going to be the chair. So I'm doing that for the first time this time. So please excuse myself if I'm too fast or doing mistakes. And I'm also not a native speaker, so probably there will be some misunderstandings. So you also don't have to be like scared to talk to me, even if you're not sure if your English is proper or not, because probably mine is not there. Okay, good. Continuing. Next point on the agenda will be election of the parliamentarian. As we heard before, the parliamentarian is an advising body, and he shall refrain from making any motions and participate in the debate as much as reasonable possible. So that means that he should stay out of discussion, but if there's necessary to be part of the discussion or say something in the discussion, he's allowed to do. Louder? Is that better? Okay, good, sorry. Yeah, the parliamentarian shall be responsible for ensuring that the General Assembly is run according to the Constitution and bylaws, and the parliamentarian may be called upon by a General Assembly to clarify parliamentarian inquiries. So in case you're not sure if we are following the bylaws or something is just, you think it's out of order, then you call for parliamentarian inquiry. Okay, not reading all of that. So at this point of time, so are there any nominations for parliamentarian? Do you accept? Okay, got a parliamentarian. So, Brennan, can you please stand up and show your face, and everyone knows if he wants to ask something? That's Brennan. Okay, are there any other nominations for parliamentarian? Sorry, I would like to hear. Okay, seeing none, then Brennan is going to be the next parliamentarian. Okay, so. Okay, so now the chair would like to entertain the motion that observers to the General Assembly should be granted the right to speak, which means that any observer, which are people that are not actual members, maybe individual supportive members or alumni, that they are allowed to speak in front of the GA. So the chair entertained the motion.
Second.
No. So. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that's the right way. So because me as a person, I can't make movement, like I can't do motion. Yeah. So someone else needs to do it. I just entertain them, and someone else will do it for me, hopefully. Sunday? Any objections to allow the observers to speak in front of the GA? Hearing none, seeing none, then this motion has passed. Okay, so next point of the agenda is amendment and approval of the proposed agenda. You saw, like, this agenda was sent to you beforehand in the email, and it's also in your booklet on the last pages, so you've all seen it. So the chair would like to entertain the motion to approve the proposed agenda. Thank you. And I also would like to entertain wait. Okay, and I also entertain to remove the point number 7, ad hoc committee on IVSA paid position, documents in the future, from the agenda. Totally cross it out. Are there any objections to remove section, like point number 7? Any questions, discussion, anything? Yes, I don't know your name, sorry, yeah, but back there.
Can you further discuss?
Wait, you need the microphone.
Hello. Jordan from UK and Ireland. I was just wondering what was going to be discussed on that topic. What is it we're removing? I know it's group 7.
Yeah, so this point was actually, we were thinking of, like, there is a committee, an ad hoc committee on a paid position from last term, and we were thinking might to extend it, but we decided otherwise to not extend it because of financial issues. But you will get a report on what the paid position did already and what is done and what will be done in future and stuff in the presentation of the committee chairs. So we removed this part because this is normally if you make, like, form a new committee, or if you want to extend the committee, which we would have to have like this at this meeting now, like this session we had, like if we want to keep the paid position committee, that we had to extend it now before the first nominations are happening for the chair positions. But we are not going to extend it. Like the EXCO decided to not going to extend it, so that's why we removed this part. Okay?
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any objections to remove this part? Okay, then this motion has passed. Okay, are there any questions to the proposed agenda? Any points you want to add? Anything you want to change, to swap, to delete? I don't know. Any concerns? Any objections to the proposed agenda? Seeing and hearing none, that means the motion has passed and we approve the proposed agenda. Okay, the next point is approval of the minutes from the Special General Assembly in Raleigh, United States of America. Those minutes have been sent to you via email. They are not on the booklet, but you received an email about them. So I guess each of you read them, probably, I guess. Okay, so the chair would like to entertain the motion to approve the minutes from the Special General Assembly in Raleigh, United States in America.
IVSA Cluj-Napoca, I so move.
Okay. Any questions or concerns about the minutes? You all read it? True? Yeah, sure. Okay, no questions, nothing to add here. Any objections to approve the minutes? Okay, seeing hearing none, then the motion has passed and we approve the minutes of the SGA in Okay. Next point will be proposal to form the ad hoc committee on collaborations with global health organizations. So just because Lara is going to come up and she's going to explain to you what this committee is about, just in general. There are different types of committees within IVSA. There's an ad hoc committee, which is especially for a specific task, and it's only for a specific time period. Then we have the working groups, which are a little broader, like the topic they're working on. And then we have standing committees, which are committees that are permanently. They are permanently, so they are accepted and they stay in IVSA forever until we terminate them. Okay, Lara's going to explain to you what the proposal is about.
Just very shortly. So I propose to form an ad hoc committee on collaboration with global health organizations, which would then be called AHCCGH. Oh, sorry, I thought my voice was loud enough. I propose this because the workload that is associated with establishing beneficial and sustainable collaborations with very professional organizations such as OIE, WHO, or the FAO. That's just a lot of work, and so EXCO would therefore like would like to have help with that, and therefore we recommend to form an ad hoc committee on collaboration with global health organizations. Okay. Okay. Are there any questions about this proposal? So, yes, Xavier.
Xavier Benavides, IVSA, Portugal. Just one question. Is it going to be dissolved in the end of the GA in this committee, in this Congress? Because it says until the GA of the 66.
That will be clarified in the next slide, where I have the whole proposal written down.
Is it possible to ask another question on the follow-up of this one? How will this differ from the work that is made by the IARO?
From the arrow? So currently this is, this task is up to the CC. The CC is responsible for this project in collaboration with SCO, the Standing Committee on One Health, because this is very much related to One Health, and therefore as SCO works on all our One Health projects, we decided that it would be best to have it like assigned to the committee coordinator, and therefore the arrow is not really involved in this. I mean, of course you will help out, and it is a partner organization. You'll be aware of everything, but it's mainly the work of the committee coordinator. Any other questions? So, I move to form an ad hoc committee on collaboration with global health organizations until the GA of the 66th Symposium, where it will be dissolved. The AHCCGHO will have 4 committee members, including the chair. The chair will be elected by the General Assembly. The chair will then select 3 other members based on submitted application forms at the end of September. Are there any questions regarding this motion? No questions.
No concerns. You know what this is about. You know what the committee is about. What they are going to do. If you form this committee, then we need members that are actually part of it. So you should understand what it is about, so you'll be able to run. Oh, Nia.
Nina Smith, IVSA Denmark. I'm just wondering why it's only going to be half a year that this committee is going to run.
Denise van Ekelen, IVSA Exco. So the main purpose of this committee is to find out and to look how we can actually establish collaboration with, for example, the World Health Organization. And there has already been done some work by Lara, by the committee coordinator, in collaboration with SCO. And next to that, the committee has to look into who's going to take care of the collaboration with this kind of organizations, because collaboration is really close, it's really extensive, and it actually does not fit into one of the EXCO positions we currently have. So the committee is only going to look into how can we collaborate, what do we need as IVSA, do we need other positions, can we create positions within committees. So they are going to create an overview which will be presented during the symposium in South Africa. Does that answer your question?
Any other questions? Okay. So are there any objections to form the ad hoc committee on collaborations with global health organizations on the here written conditions? Hearing none, this motion has passed, and we hereby hold an AHCCGHO. Okay, so the chair would like to entertain the motion to recess until after lunch. Okay, we're in recess. Any objections? We're in recess.
Okay, one moment guys, one moment. One announcement. Because there's going to be lectures and workshops. So we want you guys to choose your lectures and workshops accordingly. So after lunch, come back here at 1:30 sharp. Have mobile phones, have laptops.